Okay, so you can tell by the Genesis Soul sitting here, I don't know if you can see it, the glare, that I'm recording this, as I promised, immediately after doing NMR. I still haven't put the foil Timeless Witness into NMR, or replace it with Eternal Witness, whichever I end up doing. So let's look at Karador. Karador, I'm going to make a single card change. I want to put in Kura the Boundless Sky, this Dragon Spirit. 3 green for a 4/4 Death Touch Flyer. When it croaks, I can either go find any 3 land, not just basic, any 3 lands I bloody well feel like. I can go find them, show them to everybody, prove I have them, let them know what's coming, and put them into my hand. Yeah. Or I can make a green spirit creature token, which, since it doesn't have flying or evasion or anything, I don't know if I care about that. Anyway, Karador, what does he do again? Probably a lot of you don't know, because I don't think he gets played anymore. I think he's really fallen in favor. He used to be very common, very popular. You go to pretty much any commander table, and somebody would probably be playing Karador, but not anymore. Nope. There's a lot better graveyard strategies. The reason I keep him around is he's my slowest deck, my weakest, even though he has a lot of powerful cards, he's kind of the epitome of me playing a 700 euro deck at a 70 euro level. Okay, he's got some really powerful cards. He's got a Survival of the Fittest, he's got Yavimaya Hollow, he's got Cabal Coffers, he's got Urborg, he's got a lot of shit. But because it's Tribal Spirits, and a lot of it is from Kamigawa still, old Kamigawa, not Neon Dynasty, fucking Kamigawa that they slowed down intentionally as a reaction to the depredations that was Mirrodin. The original Mirrodin was so goddamn fast, players got pissed off. So they slowed down Kamigawa as a reaction to it. Yes, they actually used to do that shit. They actually used to, when players complained about power creep and the speed of standard, Wizards used to respond and do something in the next set if they still had time to. So they did. I think just by adding an extra mana cost to a lot of things, that looks like that's pretty much what they did. So anyway, Karador here. And he's been altered by my friend Ren. So Ren added the samurai armor, changed the helmet, give him an old naginata, and changed the set symbol to a Torah gate. So that was really cool. Money well spent. So 5 black, green, white for a 3/4 legendary spirit. Not great stats, huge casting cost, but he costs 1 less to cast for every creature in my graveyard. Although now, with all the fucking things that exile graveyards running around, it's become a far riskier strategy than it used to be. But anyway, keep him around because it's still an effective deck. I still like it. And if I happen to have him and I'm going to play against a newer player, it's one of the more fair decks I can play against a newer player. So let's see what I should take out for Kura, the Boundless Sky. So Kakamaru, he's a board wipe. 3 black, his power toughness equals number of cards in my hand. Just 1 black, sack him. All creatures get neg X until end turn, where that's number of cards in my hand. So, board wipe. This guy, because a lot of the original Kamigawa spirits are so expensive, and I've slowly weeded out some of the more expensive ones that didn't have that great of an effect over the years, because when I first built him, at least 10 years ago, I've had Karador for at least 10 years, minimum. And I had things that cost 8, 7, like Oro. Okay, yeah, I'll be out there in a minute. My wife is baking, and she's baking the pernichki. You remember the video where I had the Christmas biscuits? She's baking more of those. So I have to hurry up and get this done. So I need spirits that are cheap to cast, that come done early, to give me an early board presence. Well, this guy, 2 for a 2/2 spirit, not great, but it can just sacrifice him, destroy an enchantment. No mana investment, no play him. I don't like that. Sacrifice him, make Karador cheaper, and get rid of that enchantment I don't like. This guy, let's set him to the side. This guy, we'll talk about him in a minute too. So land, need to keep land. Hanakami, 1/1 for green. Sacrifice her, 1 in the green, sacrifice her. And I return an arcane card from a graveyard to my hand. Really, the only... I've got my Sviani here. This is a Sviani Baron. I don't find this in the shops though. I only get this from Rolik. I don't know why. So, I like it. Hideous Laughter and Your Mama's Reach are the only arcane cards I can think of in the deck. I probably have one other one, but I can't remember what it is. But I'll see it in a minute. Or several minutes because I just started, so I've got a big stack to go through. So, worst case, I can sacrifice her and bring back Your Mama's Reach, cast it again, and ramp. So she enables ramp. Land He Who Hungers. Look at this, 5 for a 3/2 flyer, 5. Right? But sacrifice the spirit. Target opponent shows off their hand. Choose a card and make them discard it. And then if he dies, any spirit with mana cost 4 or less, soul shift 4. So anything with 4 CMC or less, I can bring back to my hand. So that can be useful. Skyshard Claim. So this goes and finds 2 forests. I don't want to put the... I got some of the new ones. I got some of the new art that was recently put into what... one of the Commander Master sets. I'll keep it, because one thing about Karador, he's got a heavy French theme. I've got a lot of French cards in here, so I should probably keep this in French. Skyshard Claim, cast to go find 2 forests, put them into play, and they come into play untapped, so bonus. Unless, of course, it's the Triome. I forget which Triome is his. I've got his Triome. That just comes into play tapped. I'm screwed with that. I can't decide otherwise. Cuvette de la Yavimaya. So, Yavimaya Hollow en français. Beson. Réflexion. I can't really read French very well. I can speak the things that I know. I can talk about farming a little bit, because that's where I learned French, is on a farm. But I still have a lot of problems reading it. Tour de Commandant. Commandement. Yeah, Tour de Commandement. So French, once I read that, if you want to know what French is, take Spanish and Italian, blend it together, and then once you have it blended, take out the Italian bits you can see, and you've got French. Yosei, the Morning Star. So I've got the 3 Kamigawa Dragon Legends that match his colors. So Yosei, when he dies, target player skips her next untap step, and I can tap up to 5 things they control. Oh, that's an arcane. I knew there was another one, I just couldn't remember. Rend Flesh, destroys target non-spirit creature. For the mana cost and the restriction, non-spirit creature, it's really not that great these days. There are better options, but since it is an arcane, Hanakami can bring it back to my hand. So for that reason, and that it fits the spirit theme of the deck, I just keep it in. Like I said, I tried to make this deck a little bit better, but I'm willing to accept that this is going to be, barring the 2 Lord of the Rings decks, because I'm only using Lord of the Rings cards in them, but I don't feel like those are my decks because I did not build them. I only modified them. So I still don't really think of those as my decks. I own them, but I didn't make most of the choices. Wizards did. So Overgrown Tomb, Arashi, the Sky Yasunda. 5 for a 5/5. This is like the epitome of efficiency when it comes to Kamigawa. 5 for a 5/5. And I can deal damage to a creature flying, or I can channel him, green, X, and throw him away, and he deals X damage to all the flying creatures. So I've got that on tap. Tentation de la Découverte. I think I'm pronouncing that one right. Tempt with the Discovery. Cast it in a 4-man pod. Watch the one dude say, don't do it. Watch the other dude say, I need to do it. Watch the middle dude say, I don't know, what should I do? And I'll say, look, I'm going to go get a land. I'm going to go get a land I want, any land, and put it in play untapped. You other 3, you can do the same. The guy that needs the land, he'll do it. Okay, so now I'm going to get 2 lands and put them into play untapped. What about you other 2 guys? And usually the middle guy at that point will say, well, fuck it, I'll get a land too. And then the 4th guy will almost always then say, I will join you. And so I get 4 lands. 4 lands for 4 mana. Doesn't always work out like that, but I've never not got 2 lands of my choice out of this. Never less than 2. Ever. And given that I'm playing Skyshard Claim, which gets 2 forests, puts in play and tapped, spending 4 to get 2 lands of my choice, and it could be Kowalkoffers and Urborg, I think that's a good deal. I like it. Tortured Existence. My graveyard becomes pretty tempting a target in this deck. So I've got this to, if there's somebody in my graveyard that I really want to get back, don't want to get exiled, if there's an exile effect happening and I can't do anything about it, then at least I can throw away something from my hand that I don't need as much and pull something else back. I was thinking of changing this for Death Denied, but Death Denied is double black. I have to keep the mana up all the time in case it happens. Tortured Existence, I only have to keep a few black up because I'm pretty much just going to save a few key creatures. Ethereal Absolution. Maybe I don't need this because it costs so damn much, but it doesn't make my creatures bigger. It makes my opponent's creature smaller, and I can exile a creature, a card. I can exile any card from opponent's graveyard, but if I exile a creature, I get a spirit token. So let me set that to the side. Verdant Catacombs, Swamp. Maybe I don't need him anymore. And this is where I start getting into the hard choices with this. Because I'm not really looking at this from the point of, okay, what works? Because I haven't played him in so long. And everything works in this deck. It's pretty well tuned. So it's more, okay, to put in this Kura, what should I take out? So Eternal Dragon. I'm pretty much not going to cast him. The idea is I planescycle him, and it feeds a card in for Karador, so Karador becomes cheaper, and I go find a planes. And it can be a shock land, so I can get, if I'm missing a color, he can help me find it, and it's color agnostic. So whatever 2 colors I have, I can throw this in the graveyard, and then go get the shock land that provides the color I'm missing. And then if I have the mana and I'm not doing anything with it during my upkeep, I can get him back. But otherwise, 7 for a 5/5 flyer is not really a good deal. Maybe I don't need him. Let's set him aside. Maybe I don't need him anymore after all. Maybe Kura is better. Nature's Lord, go find a forest, throw it on the battlefield, shuffle. Horobi, Death's Whale. Oh, Horobi. I love this guy. 4/4/4/4 Flying Spirit. Whenever a creature becomes target of anything, it dies. So let's set him over here, and we'll see what kind of targeting things I have. I mean, there's Yavimaya Hollow, and there have been plenty of times I played Horobi, and then targeted one of my opponent's creatures for regeneration, and Horobi saw it, and he's like, "You're trying to regenerate that creature. Kill it!" No regeneration for you. There's Cultivate. So go find 2 basic lands, 1 on the field, 1 in your hand. I think all of you know about that. Drug Skull Reinforcements. This is relatively new. I've not played the deck since adding it in here. 3 and a white for a 2/2 spirit. So when I attack, I create a copy of this for Let me make sure I'm reading that right. I should not have gotten the full art. I really should not. I shouldn't do that anymore because I forget what things like melee are because I don't play them that often. So what does this guy do again? Whenever this creature attacks, he doesn't make copies of him. He gets +1/+1 until end of turn for each opponent you attack this combat. And other spirits have the same. So if I attack one guy, he gets 1/1. Because whenever this creature attacks, it gets +1/+1 until end turn for each opponent you attack. So one opponent, 1/1. Two opponents, 2/2. So if I attack everybody, everything that's attacking is 3/3. I should buy the non-extended art one so I can remember what the hell. I guarantee I'll forget again. Vindicate. Maybe there's something better. I'm just kind of. This is a carryover from. It's a legacy card. I've just had it here so long. What could I replace it with? There's the utter end. I could replace the utter end. 2 black-white, exile target permanent, lose 3 life. But then what would I do with this? What would I do with my Vindicate? I'd have no home for it. Spirit of the Hearth. This guy's fantastic. If he's in play, I can't be bogged. I can't beat the target spells or abilities my opponents control. And he's pretty beefy. 6 for a 4/5 flyer. Kitty Spirit. Meow. Thawing Glaciers. Very slow. Very reliable. Do I have Exploration and Burgeoning in here? I've got Burgeoning in here, and yes, I've got Burgeoning and Exploration. So at the end of my turn, if I Burgeoning out on the next 3 guys' turn, if one of them plays a land, I can play the Glaciers again and do it again. Baronet Kami. This is a really good card in this deck. 5 for 3/3 sucks, but it is what it is. And if they retuned and they ratcheted down the power creep, if in the next few sets they ratchet it down, which they could easily do that, and make a set like this, reset the power level of standard, so you've got 5 mana 3/3s with some interesting ability. He's also an uncommon, he's not a rare. But only God knows the wizard's willing to fucking do that. Whenever I play a spirit or arcane spell, put a +1/+1 counter target creature, any creature I want. Anybody. So, with Hirobi, if I play a spirit or arcane spell, he becomes an executioner. Well, he becomes the targeter. He becomes the judge. He sentences a creature to death. Because he can put a +1/+1 counter on one of my opponent's creatures, and then Hirobi will execute that creature with extreme prejudice. Land. Soul Ring. Descendant's Path. I've got a couple of effects like this that get around mana cost, get around casting. And when I show you the card, why I have it in there, it's kind of funny. So, Descendant's Path. 2 and a green. Beginning of my upkeep. Reveal the top card of my library. And I've got ways to manipulate the top of my library. I should probably take another drink. So, at the beginning of my upkeep, reveal the top card of my library. If it's a creature card, there shows a creature type with a creature type, which it will be. Everything in here is a spirit. There are no non-spirit creatures. Some of them have an additional creature type, but they're all spirits. All of them. Full stop. I can cast without paying its mana cost. Otherwise, put it in the bottom of your library. Oh, so that is cast. Oh, man. Okay, but anyway, it's a free creature. Suture Spirit with Hirobi. 1 and a white. Any combination of black-white for up to 3. And mark target creature for death. Mari's Wake. My creatures get bigger. My lands make double. Winds of Teeth. Exploration. Play additional land each turn. Plains. Musée Ne de Grand. Seedborn Muse. She is a spirit. 5 for 2/4 spirit. And every time my opponents untap on their turn, I untap with them. Kadamas reach, pote du kodama, land tax. So if an opponent has more lands than me, beginning my upkeep, I can go find 3 basic lands, show them off, put them in my hand. Ancient Tomb, it's a slow deck. I need ways, and this is another one of those power cards. And there's been times when I've gotten Ancient Tomb out on turn 2, turn 1, land, exploration, and then Ancient Tomb. And the genie looks at it like, my God, what are you doing? We're not playing CEDH. And I'm like, Evgeny, this is Karador. I know you forgot what Karador is, but it's still Karador. He's still going to be as slow as he is. And usually I lose, but I have fun playing. I love Karador. Karma Guide, Angel Spirit, Flying Protection Black, 5 for a 2/2 with Echo 5. But when she comes into play, return target creature card from graveyard to the battlefield. Now let's quit looking at Tarobi. So, Karador. During each of my turns, I can cast 1 creature from the graveyard. So if I cast her, she comes into play with a free friend, which is nice. That's why she's here. Aura Shards. This really isn't that great in this deck. The only reason this is okay is because Karador, he allows me to play creatures from my graveyard. So by allowing me to play creatures from my graveyard, I get to trigger this again. If this is in play, bring back something that costs 1 or 2, and keep going and blow something up. Let me just check this out. Vault of the Archangel gives my creatures death touch, lifelink until end of turn. Forest, caught me a false hope. So this is a white Spore Frog. A white Spore Frog here, sacrifice him and fog. And then Karador, if he's in play, does, okay, spend 1 white, get him back out. So spend 1 white, get him back out, and do it again. I could probably put more recursion in Karador, but it would have to be spirits. Lantern Chromatic Lantern. There's the Burgeoning. Whenever an opponent plays a land, I can pull a land card out of my hand, throw it down. Infernal Kirin. 4 for a 3/3 flyer. Whenever a player Spirit Arcane spell, target player reveals their hand and throws away all cards that spell's CMC. Sometimes it gets nothing. Sometimes it gets multiple somethings. Again, remember, I have to target 1 player, so I have to choose wisely. Who can fuck with me? Lone Dweller. Never play a Spirit Arcane spell. I can put a land card from my hand and play tapped. So this is part of the ramp package. Not the best part, but still, he comes down early, and he's a bear. 2 for a 2/2. It's like Grizzly Bears. Urborg Tomb de Yogg-Sabuul. Urborg Tomb of Yawgmoth. Okay, there's my Sylvan Library. Ren did this one for me too. Beautiful extension. Beautiful work on that. I really like it. It was 5th edition, so it was a white border, and I didn't like the white border. And Ren sorted that out. So, draw 2 cards. When I draw. So, only during my... It's weird wording because it's an old card. But during my draw step, I draw 2 additional cards. And then I either pay 4 life for each of those cards I keep, or I put them back. So I can draw 2 extra, pay 8 life, keep them both, or draw 2 extra, pay 4 life, put 1 back, or draw 2 extra, put them both back, and pay nothing. And that sets up the draw for next turn, so if I have Descendant's Path, I know it's coming up, so I know if it's going to be a spirit. Divinity of Pride. That the mana cost can be kind of tricky in this deck because it's 3 color, and green can sometimes throw a wrench in the works. I'll have 4 black or 4 white and 1 green. I'll be like, I need another white or black so I can cast this son of a bitch. So anyway, 4/4 flying lifelinker, and as long as I have 25 more life, he becomes an 8/8. So if I get him down before people punch into me and knock me much below 40, he'll come into play as an 8/8. I mean, it feels like cheating, but those are the rules. Mistful Plains comes to play tapped. So if somebody's going to exile this is another way of taking care of people exiling my graveyard to save certain things. So I can spend a white, pull target card out of my graveyard and throw it in the bottom of my library. But only if I have 2 or more white permanents. This guy, sacrifice Burgrafter. Target creature gets +2/+2 until end turn, and I can just sacrifice him as an instant whenever I feel like it. And he's got Soul Shift 3. So when he dies, I can return a spirit card with CMC 3 or less from my graveyard to my hand. There it is, Hideous Laughter. All creatures get -2/-2 until end turn instantly. Great backed. You can see I've got a lot of death triggers. So why not Great backed? Defense of the Heart. During my upkeep, if an opponent has 3 or more creatures, I can sacrifice this. Go find any 2 creatures. There's not that many 2-creature combos. Not like I have Elish Norn and haha, it's Feathers Laugh in this deck. I did that with Saskia the last game. It didn't feel good. It kind of felt good to do it, but the reaction from Kuba especially didn't feel good. He was not really liking it. But then again, Kuba does play Niv Mizzet the Firemind and Curiosity together. So, and he's done it before. He's put Curiosity on Niv Mizzet the Firemind and killed us. So, maybe I shouldn't feel bad about it. Forest. Greater good. Sack a creature, draw cards equal to its power, then throw away 3 cards. And this is the 9th edition foil. I love the art. I like it in foil. It's really neat to look at. It's just so abstract. I mean, wow. God of the Shrine, Cabal Coffers, Clarion Spirit. I'm not casting that many spells, but it's nice to have the option whenever I cast a second spell to get a spirit token, and it comes down early. So this is another concession to the need to have early creatures to develop an early board presence. Patriarch's Bidding. Kodama the East Tree. 6 for 6/6 with reach. Never another permanent enters battlefield in my control. If it wasn't put into play with his ability, so if I cast it or it got flashed, it got exiled and returned, however it came into play. If he didn't do it, all he cares about is it came into play, and I can take something in my hand that costs less than the thing coming into play, equal or less, and put on the battlefield. So if I play a land, I can play a second land. Right? Whenever another permanent enters the battlefield. If I play the Immortal Sun, I can put in, for free, Selfless Spirit. So, he's pretty damn cool. The Immortal Sun. 6, there are no Planeswalkers in this deck. Beginning of my draw step, draw an additional card. You can't activate Planeswalker's loyal abilities. That doesn't hit me at all. Spells I cast are cheaper, and my creatures get bigger. Selfless Spirit, sacrifice him. My creatures gain indestructible until the end of the turn. And then Karador can get him back out. Long Forgotten Gohei. Arcane spells I play cost 1 less. Spirits I control get bigger. Not amazingly bigger, but for 3 mana I guess it's still okay. And it fits the theme of the deck. Survival of the Fittest. 1 green to cast it. 1 green, throw away a creature card, and go search your library for any creature you want, put it in your hand, and then shuffle. Murmuring Bosk is a forest, so Sky Shard Claim can find it. Primordial Sage. What the hell is it? Soul of the Harvest. Soul of the Harvest is strictly better than this, because Soul of the Harvest is, I believe, a 6/6 for the same mana cost and has the same ability. But he's not a spirit. So, to fit the theme of the deck, I'm intentionally playing this creature that is just fucking shut off. So I'm playing this card that is less efficient than another readily available creature because of the creature type. So 6 mana, it's a 4/5. I could be playing a 6/6 that whenever I cast a creature spell I can recard. But because it's Tribal Spirits, Primordial Sage has to do. Cauldron of Souls, remember Hirobi? So 5, tap it. Any number of target creatures gain persist until end of the turn. So if Hirobi's in play, I can play this, tap it, target any number of my opponent's creatures to give them persist, and they all die without being persistent. And then, if I don't have Hirobi and I give my creatures persist, I can use this to get rid of the persist counters. The +1/+1 counters will cancel out the -1/-1 counters from persist, meaning I can give them persist again and save them again. Neat. This really doesn't belong in here. It's Ghost Quarter. It's a spirit deck. So to me it just kind of fits the theme, so I just play it. And I like the art. Kokusho, the Evening Star. Back in Kamigawa, I actually played in a pre-release event, and I won off Kokusho. I opened Kokusho in my pool. I couldn't remember if it was probably sealed pool. I opened Kokusho, and in about, it felt like all the, but not all of them. Every game when I got Kokusho out, I won. So, fond memories of this card. 6/6 or 5/5 dragon. When she dies, each opponent loses 5 life. Again, life equal to the life loss this way. Remorseful Cleric. 2/1 flyer. Sacrifice him. Exile all cards from target player's graveyard. So, this helps control graveyard strategies. And in reading these cards, I kind of forgot the purpose of reading them, which is to figure out what I want to take out for Kura. I definitely don't want to take her out, because she's got flying, lifelink, protection from vampires, and her power and toughness are equal to my spirits and enchantments. So she'll usually, I guess she'd get about, reliably, 5/5, 7/7, but 5/5, 7/7 flying lifelinker for 3 mana, that's not bad. And then she's got this disturb shit that I don't know, I don't care about. Eidolon Rhetoric, it's signed. So each player can't cast more than 1 spell each turn. Remember the Kodama of the South Tree? He doesn't care about this. So if I have Eidolon Rhetoric in play, and I cast my spell, either from my hand or from Karador, because he says cast, Eidolon Rhetoric doesn't care what the Kami does. So Kami of the South Tree can say, oh, you played a spell. You can drop something else from your hand for free. It's not casting a spell, so it gets around that. And the other lads, they fucking hate this guy. He slows the game down, but I kind of have to, because Karador's slow. So drag everybody down to my level. If I'm going to be swimming in the mud, you bastards are going to come down and swim with me. Yamama of the South Tree, 4/4/4/4. Whenever you play a Spirit Arcane spell, each other creature control gets +1/+1 and trample until end of turn. So not bad, especially the trample. Yes, yes. Haraona comes to play, I draw a card. And whenever I play a Spirit Arcane spell, I can put her back in my hand. And she's 4 mana. She's 4 mana for a 2/1 that draws me 1 card. That's efficiency of Champions of Kamigawa for you. That's a perfect picture of it. But since she does draw me cards and I need card draw, Wrath of God, bury all creatures. Look at the guy's ass. We're away. Oh, another arcane spell. Green, destroy target artifact or enchantment. Swamp. Windburn Muse. Creature can't attack me unless control pays 2 for creature. So she's a propaganda. She's a propaganda on wings. 2/3 for 4. Should have got a French one to go with the Seedburn Muse, but I didn't. And the Red Muse, or the Black Muse, she deals with zombies. So I would like to have the Black Muse, so I've got all 3 muses on color, because I would like to complete that trifecta. But the Graveborn Muse only cares about zombies, not creatures, so no synergy with this deck. Path of Ancestry. What? I've only got 4 more cards, and I'll be right there. So Command Tower that comes into play tapped. All my creatures are spirits, so I will be scrying because they do share a creature trap with Karador. Every single last one of them. Thief of Hope. So whenever I play a Spirit of Arcane spell, this guy is... he's probably won me 1 or 2 games. Wow.
200.
200?
Yes, there are 200 of them.
Wow, is that going to... no, you're going to... the kids are going to decorate them at the Christmas market.
Yes, yes, yes.
How many more do you have to do?
Well, I will make probably about 100 more.
Okay, how many more? How many do I get to eat?
Honey,
What?
this is for the school, yeah?
What? It's just the little bastards? I don't get any? Okay, so Thief of Hope, Winding Canyons, Fortress of de Volrath, Vora Stronghold. I don't know. I guess I'll probably take out Eternal Dragon. I still haven't decided. I kind of threw the whole purpose of making this. Let me think about it just a minute. Alright, so thinking about it, to be honest, so Eternal Dragon. If I plain cycle him, and I've got a lot of ways of finding forest. So finding the forest will find the shocklands I need. So to discard him for the plane cycling in order to feed 1 to Karador, but then later, 7 mana for a 5/5 flyer. Even though he looks really cool, even though I have fond memories of I think Kura the Boundless Sky is going to be better. Because so Kura is a 4/4 for 5. That's 2 mana cheaper. It's color shifted from white to green. He's got 2 death triggers. And I'm probably not going to want to spend 5 mana during my upkeep. So it's kind of like telling a friend that you don't want to play with him anymore. That's what it feels like. What I wanted to show you that I almost forgot about. So the deck has a combo that is really risky these days. Really risky because of all the graveyard exclusion, graveyard shit. So Life Spinner, sacrifice 3 spirits, go find a legendary spirit card, put it in play, then shuffle. And he can be one of the spirits that I sacrifice. Well, then he comes into play, and I can go search my library for a number of spirit cards and put them in my graveyard, and then shuffle. And I've done this a few times. And I always feel like it's really risky when I do it, unless I'm holding this. And nobody's got any blue untapped. If anybody has any blue untapped, I don't do this unless I've looked at their hand with He Who Hungers and made them discard their counterspell. So fill my graveyard with all the spirits, and there's 33 creatures in the deck. They're all spirits. So about 20 creatures in the graveyard. And then play Patriarch's Bidding. Everybody choose a creature type. I wonder what I'm going to choose. And then all creature cards of that type come back to play. It's a high risk, high reward strategy. So then if somebody plays board wipe, I will have Selfless Spirit in play. Because either he would have been put in the graveyard and come back with Patriarch's Bidding, or I would have had him in play anyway. So then on my turn, I've got all my spirits, and I can really start smashing into people. Now, given if all my spirits are on the field, I don't have any to cast, in order to trigger the Kodama of the South Tree and give them trample. But maybe I'll have an arcane spell in my hand or a spirit in my hand, so give all my creatures trample and then just start smashing into people. That's kind of the big combo there. So anyway, that's the decision. Eternal Dragon comes out. He'll go in my art binder because I love him. He used to be a lot of money. He used to be a very financially valuable card, and this one's still, it's not quite near mint, but pretty damn close. But this guy, he just seems more effective, and that's it. All right, I'm done. Let's splice it together and post it.